Good afternoon and welcome to Sahara TV. Today we have some special guests all the way from South Africa. They are coming via Skype. This is a couple that made headlines in fact, a month ago when they were the first black African gay couple to have a traditional wedding in South Africa. It's already been 19 years, tomorrow marking the 19th year since South Africa has been free, and this is part of the freedoms that South Africa is experiencing and is enjoying. We're going to speak to Cameron and Thabo Sithole Modisane. Gentlemen, hello and welcome to Sahara TV. Gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you too.
Thank you. So anyway, we're going to show a little clip of your wedding, and then after that we're going to go right into the interview. So just bear with us for a minute.
As the men of the moment, Thabo Sithole and Cameron Modisane, made their grand entrance. Both dressed in traditional regalia to show their Zulu and Setswana roots. Then the moment guests had been waiting for. There's been a lot of criticism to Sithole and Modisane tying the knot, but the grooms say they're proud of making history.
You know, I love Thabo so much. I'm very excited. I'm glad that I'm married to Thabo now. We are both Mr. TC Sithole Modisane. It's very exciting. We're making history. You know, I think, as I've mentioned before, it is against this idea that being gay is an African. Being gay is as African as being black. So we're part of our culture. Thabo is Zulu and I'm Tswana, and we are rooted in our culture. And
Yes, gentlemen, and welcome back to Sahara TV. That was a clip of your wedding that you had. When was this wedding?
Okay, the wedding was on the 6th of April, 2013
Right.
in Kadubuza, Stenga.
Okay. And I see that it was quite well attended and it was very public wedding, also very traditional. What made you decide to have a traditional gay wedding? Because this is unheard of in African culture, obviously.
The reason why we decided to have a traditional African gay wedding was to embrace our culture, embrace who we are, and to show how proud we really are of our Tswana and Zulu culture.
Okay, and a lot of people obviously have shown concern to say, oh, this is unheard of, you cannot do that. How was it when you approached your families to get, you obviously had to receive some kind of blessings or go ahead to do this from both families and also from individual families where you come from?
Okay, when it comes to family, they were very supportive. Um, they were supportive from the planning of the wedding to the end. They were part of it, and also the community, our friends, they were also part of it. They were supportive and happy for us. They did give us our blessing. They did give us their blessings.
Right. What community are you from anyway in South Africa?
Okay, my community, it is mostly, there's more Zulus.
Okay.
So it's more of a Zulu culture.
All right, I see. So anyway, I see that obviously you've made international news because we got a clip of your wedding, obviously via the internet, and we saw that you appeared on American talk shows, and obviously I hear that in other places also they were showing this video of your wedding because you actually went full out and wore traditional garb. I know that Cameron, you are Zulu. No, Cameron, you're Tswana, and Toba, you're Zulu, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So in the Zulu tradition, when somebody gets married, what happens?
Okay, for a straight couple, if you decide to get married, firstly you pay lobola, then there's some traditional things that you need to do, celebration, exchange of gift, and so forth. You have to slaughter a goat and a cow
Right.
for blessing from the ancestors. But with our wedding, since none of us has a womb and none of us can carry a baby, what we decided was not to have the lobola part, but we did exchange gifts. And also we did slaughter a cow as for blessings from our ancestors.
Okay. Now I see that you have a joint name here because I see it's obviously Cameron and Tabo Sitole Modisane with the hyphen in between. So that means obviously you have been registered legally because that's your now your legal name that you're using. Have
Yes, we have been registered legally with our Home Affairs department in South Africa.
Okay, so you are legally what's the terminology? What's the term do they use to describe a man and a man in such a kind of unity?
So it's still our union is actually still described as a marriage, but it's under the Civil Union Act, which was passed in 2006. But our union is actually recognized as marriage as such.
Okay, so
So we
this
so we've got the same rights as any heterosexual couple that
okay,
will be married.
so this is under obviously Constitution of South Africa.
Yeah, it's under the constitution, yes, and it's law.
Okay, let's go back to the community. I know that obviously there are people that would probably be castigating you, condemning you, obviously, you know, trying to say this is sinful, this is never heard of, most probably blame you for all the troubles that are happening in South Africa. How do you deal with that? And if you deal with it, have you obviously seen this kind of behavior from people?
We haven't actually experienced it firsthand. Most of it has been through the media, through tabloid newspapers and what have you. But we have not experienced any hatred or harm in any way or form. In terms of our close circles, in circles where we travel in, our community, even our place of work, we've received a lot of support and congratulations. People have been very very supportive and some are actually quite inspired by what we did, and they look up to us, which is very good. They feel that we are very brave with what we've done. We've actually opened doors for them. Some people are still in the closet, still struggling with their sexuality. We've actually gave them a voice in a way.
I hear that you actually also got approached by SABC, which is South African Broadcasting Corporation, for a reality show. I'm not too sure if you can speak about this, but I feel like it's already in the final stages of before you start shooting. Is that true?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go into details with regards to that, but it's going to be if you want to call it like a reality documentary in a way, it's going to be a once-off though, in terms of just to see our background, to see how we're finding marriage life, and just it will be broadcast across the nation. It's going to be one of those, try, trying to understand what it's like, in the 21st century, understand a modern gay type of family, and also our family members will be interviewed, and also our friends, our lifestyle, and all of that. So it's going to be quite interesting. Most importantly, I think a lot of people will actually learn about homosexuals and how we actually live our lives, and also trying to normalize being gay. I think that's quite important. We need to drive that message, and yeah, we're looking forward to the shoot, and going to be broadcast, I think, in the next couple of months. So once everything has been done.
Okay. Now, do you see a future, for where people are tolerant to gays in Africa and elsewhere in the world? Do you see that happening in your future?
I think, yeah, I think, you know what, society is about evolution, it's about evolving, it's about moving with times. I think I've mentioned before, culture cannot be static. Culture keeps on moving. So we do see a future in terms of the modern family, in a gay sense, which will will form part of society, an integral part of society going forward in the next couple of years. And I think at this stage, obviously, still in the beginning stages, but going forward, we're going to see a modern family whereby it includes same-sex couples and probably will be seen quite normal going forward. It won't be a taboo so much.
Okay. Now, Toba, I see that you're not speaking a lot. This question I want to ask you. We want to hear your voice. Now, do you guys plan to adopt children? Do you plan to have a family of your own?
Yeah, we do plan to have a family, but not through adoption. We've decided that we're gonna do it through surrogacy. We're gonna get a surrogate mother and do the insemination process. That's how we're planning to do it.
Okay. And who's going to be obviously donating to that surrogate mother?
Um,
That would be
well,
private. I mean,
what what we've decided is we're gonna join our sperm. We're just gonna join them. Then whichever sperm wins or whatever you call it, um, we 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 wouldn't know whose sperm actually what won on that egg or and so forth.
well,
But as
definitely you'll probably be able to tell once the baby is being born. Maybe they'll have your traits. Who knows?
a
But let me ask you. So I have a few questions here from the straight world, people from Africa, people who have been asking these questions. First of all, they want to know how you identified each other because you met. Was it in Durban or was it Cape Town?
Durban.
Okay, they want to know like how did you identify each other to say, okay, there goes another fellow gay brother. So let me hit up on him and let's find out what's going on.
No, you know what? You know what's interesting about being gay? It's
Right.
almost like if you're gay, we call it a gaydar. It's almost like a sixth sense in a way. See, you say you can normally pick up the vibes,
A
the
gaydar.
demeanor. Yeah, we call it a gaydar. So
Oh,
it's almost like a sixth sense. So it's a way of picking up if someone is gay or not. So most you can ask any gay person, they'll tell you. Most of us we do have a gaydar. We can pick up, can sense certain things. As I'm saying, certain demeanors, mannerisms, how they talk, how they act, how they speak, and what have you. You can pick up that this dude he might be gay, even though they might look very manly and straight acting, but there's certain demeanors which you can pick up, which
okay.
are signs of
Yeah, and
oh,
now the
okay.
other question is they want to know if you were born that way or this was a choice that you made later on in life.
Oh no, it wasn't a choice. We were born this way. Ever since we were young, I had. I'm not sure, but he confirmed that he had feelings ever since he was young. So also I had feelings for guys. During my adolescent stage, it was never a choice.
Okay. Now, also, they want to know how it feels, to be gay, which sounds kind of like a stupid question, really.
Yeah, it doesn't make.
It
Okay.
feels normal. It's like being in love with a
It's
heterosexual.
like being straight. How does it feel being straight?
Right. Okay. And then is it something you can control or have no control over? Like, can you turn it on and off, maybe?
No, man. Okay, can you turn on and off being straight? You can't. This
Okay.
is who we are. We are born this way. So we
What
can't.
is straight anyway?
Eh?
I said, what is straight or gay anyway? What is that? I'm not too.
Okay. People presume that being straight, a person who's straight is a person who dates girls. So they think you're straight. You know, that's how the society looks at it.
So, in your community in South Africa, I mean, they called it the Rainbow Nation. So, in other places, rainbow could mean so many colors, and so many colors could translate to gay. So you obviously having been on television and you're out of quote unquote the closet and you're walking on the street, have you encountered straight men who you might think are attracted to you even if they are so-called straight?
You know what's interesting about being gay? Being gay does not necessarily mean that you are attracted to every man. We've all got our certain preferences and choices in terms of the type of men that we want. So we don't necessarily go out and hit on every straight guy that we see out there in the street or club or whatever. We normally have our preference and we normally go for what we prefer. So not every straight guy is attractive to us in our eyes. No.
Okay. So obviously you guys anticipate a long future together
That
because
is
that's
correct.
part of the commitment you make when you are taking the vows of marriage, no?
Yeah, eternity.
What's that?
Yeah, we are anticipating a long future. Actually,
Okay.
forever, not even a long future.
All right. I didn't kind of sense like you were hesitant a little bit. I don't know why, but
No,
maybe
I'm
it's
not.
just me. But
Eh?
anyway, so now since South Africa has reached its 19th year and this has happened and you're part of what is happening in South Africa, whether people allow it or not, whether people agree with it or not, whether people are still stuck in that denial phase, what would you have to say to fellow South Africans about you? You know, given the chance that you're on TV, you have to let them know that this is me. What would you tell them? We'll start with you, Cameron.
I think the most important thing is about acceptance. It's about acceptance of who we are. We're all different. We're all made different and special in our unique way. So it's all about tolerance and acceptance. And we're so blessed that we've got this beautiful country and our constitution, which actually allows us to be who we are, which has given us the rights. We actually we are one of 14 countries in the world that actually allows for same-sex marriages. So it is a privilege, and everyone should actually respect our right to dignity and humanity, and they should just accept us, live and let live. We're not harming anyone. We're just living our lives, and it's a matter of just people trying to understand where we come from. But we also want to build a life, we want to build families, we want to have kids like them. We've got the same dreams, the same aspirations. Just because we're gay, that does not die out. So we just want acceptance, that is important, and also understanding as well from society, from our community, from everyone in South Africa.
Okay, now you, Toba, can you also add into that particular point?
Okay. The first part that you said, accepting. Before we can be accepted by the public, I think that the most important thing, firstly, we need to accept ourselves, accept the fact that we're not different. We're not creatures or anything. We're not a mistake. We were born this way. This is who we are, and it was never a choice. So as long as we accept ourselves first and we are in peace with it, then I think we can actually live our lives openly, and the public will be able to accept us. Because at the end of the day, um, most of us gay people, we hide ourselves, and the public sees the less of us. So the more of us who come out from the closet, um, it will bring about acceptance, and we need to be proud of who we are. Because as I said again, we're not a mistake, and yeah, I guess that's what I'd say.
Okay. Now, just in closing, because we're about to close, thank you very much for coming. Uh, what we know that you obviously work, and what kind of education have you received? I believe one of you has some degrees, 2 degrees or something.
Okay, I'm in IT.
Okay.
Oh, that's my turn to speak now. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm a
all right. Now, do you have any problems in your work environment and how people treat you?
No, actually, okay. After the wedding, before and after the wedding, I was on leave for 2 weeks or so. When I came back, everyone was so excited. They're like, "Oh my goodness, you've become a mini celebrity. You're all over. We're so happy for you. We wish you well on your marriage and so forth." The managers and everyone actually had work, so I didn't get any discrimination or so forth. So
Okay.
yeah.
So anyway, gentlemen, thank you very much for deciding to speak to us. I mean, tomorrow is obviously, today is going to be South Africa's Freedom Day, and we are obviously going to, you're going to be a contributing factor to that day and what South Africa has actually become 19 years after apartheid. So we appreciate your presence with us, and we wish you a long future together and happiness and peace. All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you. That was
Thank you.
As the men
Cameroon
of the
and
moment,
Thabo,
Toba Sithole and
Toba
Cameron Mudasane made
Sithole
their grand
Modise from
entrance.
South Africa. They are the first African gay couple that had a first traditional marriage. One is Zulu, one is Tswana. So they had a marriage, and South Africa approved, and the world celebrated. Sahara TV.